Choose the life you want today. First of all, you are the only one who can make that choice, and you can only make that choice today, meaning that we can only choose or create anything from our moment of now, what we decide to do in that moment. And we are the only ones who can choose the life we want to have. But we don't always do that. Because, see, when we come into the world, we're programmed differently. We're programmed to believe something different because we had to be. We came from our parents, from our ancestors, or whatever it is. But as we move through our life, we start figuring out our autonomy, and then we have to make new choices continually. And those choices are always about who we are, who we're meant to become, our authentic selves. And I keep talking about that because, see, I believe that every single person born has this connection to God, to source, to all that is, and that's their authentic selves. But we also have the old programming. And I've known that for a long time, but also choosing my life and choosing what I wanted was really challenging because I was so different, as most people feel. You feel that you're different, you're unique, you're supposed to be. But then when we start moving through different changes in our world, it becomes even more challenging because now we have a lot of old beliefs and ideas that are talking right in front of us. And who are we supposed to be? But see, I knew that as well. That title, Choose the Life That You Want Today, is a message that I wrote that's on my website, anyadvicefortoday.com, and it came up today. And that's how I've done everything. We evolve, we change, we do everything in our consciousness or our mindset. Now we can access that in different ways. As I've spoken of, what I started doing in 1988, I started accessing a higher state of consciousness, what I call cosmic awareness, universal consciousness, whatever you call it, but it's something that we all operate from. And the more of us who decide to do that, we start to see our lives in a very different way, and we start to see the world differently. But it's also a progression. We don't get there right away. We don't get there right away within ourselves, and our world doesn't get there either, which is why we have all the conditions that we're seeing now. 3 years ago, when I started talking about the work that I was doing, when I started changing everything in my life, it's because I knew where we would be at this time and what would be the most helpful. If I could get more people to understand how they could transform their lives, how they could heal, they could move through all kinds of trauma, overcoming their fear and their doubt and all of those things. And I know that because I kept writing it every single day and I kept moving through it. And you'll see things occurring in the world today that I've talked about several years ago, but that was my difficulty because I would receive information precognitively. So, and nobody had seen what it was. I put out something the other day saying no one could hear me because that's how we operate a lot. We will have intuition because we all have it, but we will question whether or not we're going to act on it. But see, that intuition is always your guidance. But trusting it is, again, getting over the old programming. So it was incredibly challenging for me. So after I wrote that message this morning, then I received an email that an interview that I had done some time ago was published several days ago. I hadn't known, and it's on a podcast station and YouTube channel called Wisdom from North, and so you can check it out. I'll put the links in the description of this video, and then I also had a blog interview done, which I'll put a link there as well because I want you guys to see that, and you might want to even sign up for his blog. But there was someone who told my story better than I could, so I want everyone to read that. We're not moving through anything accidental. Nothing happens accidentally in our lives or in the world. It's all energy, and we all have it, and we all direct it. And so when we decide to choose the life that we want to have, that means we're choosing ourselves. We're choosing to love who we are. That's a very different energy that we put into the world. But we know sometimes that's really difficult. It's challenging because we've been judging ourselves. We've been, thinking we were wrong or did something incorrect. None of that was ever true for any person. It was just our misunderstanding of who we were. And so when we do the work, which is the shadow work of however you think of it, of going inside and figuring out those blockages that were there, then we can kind of move through them. That's what I did for more than 35 years. And that's why I put this into my work. Now, I want to tell you something else, though, because I'm not there. I'm not finished. I keep talking about it. Yeah, I'm 73, but I'm not done putting in this work. But I saw a report today, and everybody, you'll get this. It was on money dysphoria. And we've heard about dysphoria in so many other ways, about our looks, our weight, or whatever, because we will see something and we have a different perception of what that might be. We all do it because it's challenging to look at ourselves and to know what that is. So when they were speaking about this, it's like either we will think we have more money than we do, and so then we're spending and we're not paying attention to things and all. But I come up with something else, because everything is energy again. And so when you're not having enough money, it's the energy of that, which means that you haven't owned who you are. And I can speak to that because I've done that many times as well, which is why I work on that so much with those in my program. But I also had it about myself, because when I knew that I was needed to do this work now, and released it in 2021, I did it for like very little money. I put people in there, and it was next to nothing. I knew that people were paying thousands of dollars to receive the results of what my participants have received from this work. You can listen to, and I'm sure you have, the testimonials, and you'll see that they are changing things that they couldn't believe they could do, and comparing me to all these other folks who they had taken and they'd spent thousands of dollars. But this was different, you see, because I downloaded all this information in real time over my life, and it was corresponding to what was happening in our world. And what it was, and I've been given this, it is a life transformational program for the new world, for the new earth, because that's where we're moving. That's why this looks chaotic. And what I was told, that if more people decided to become happy, decided to move through all the old judgments and biases and prejudices and all those things and discover who they are and love who they are, that's a whole new energy that we're putting into the world, and things think we start to change. If one day we won't have wars because we won't need to kill people. And that seems so crazy. I was talking about this the other day, like Steve Jobs said, they're the crazy ones who think they can change the world are the ones who will. And I'm one of those crazy ones, because I know that everybody can find this place within them where they can be happy, where they can contribute, where they can move through all the old stuff. And I've proven it, because you'll hear all the people who have said that has been done. But I held back as well, but I'm no longer doing that. I'm going to finish the rest of my work. I opened up a few slots in my 4 weeks, so you can look at all of that. I'll leave all these links in the description, but I want you to understand what's happening in your life and in the world. You're evolving, and the world is attempting to do that as well. And it gets there faster the more that you decide to choose your life, choose who you want to become, choose who you are, your authentic self, because you were born perfect. This is why I have on my site, you are a gift to humankind. We all are. It just takes us a while to understand that and to break through the barriers that have prevented us from seeing that, or the veil, so to speak. Yeah, you can pierce that veil and you can see how perfect you are. And this is why I said this is an ascension program as well, because that's what we're all doing. We're attempting to ascend to a higher state of understanding of who we are. Then we can put that into the world, and eventually our world will do the same thing. All right. Have a great day.